Ben Simmons is reportedly back in Philly.
Let's go.
He reported back to
You're
Philly.
a Simmons fan, right?
That's
your favorite
I've
player?
been deemed a Sixers fan, so
That's your favorite
excuse me,
player?
I've been deemed no.
Oh, I thought you were about to say that's my favorite
His
player.
favorite player is LeBron, Jimmy James.
Oh, nice.
But Ben Simmons
I mean, got
surprised
lucky.
Elton Brand when he went back to Philly. Nobody thought he was coming back.
Nobody.
And
He
Well,
saw all that bread he was about to
within
lose.
Philly, they didn't think he was coming back. I'll give you a pound. They didn't think he was coming back.
I'll give you a pound.
Rich Paul tried to do a bunch of different tactics to make sure this didn't happen. He used an excuse of accelerated growth as a way for Ben to get paid while holding out. And accelerated growth means that he was basically blaming the organization, Philadelphia, for being good, therefore hindering Ben Simmons' development. Obviously, that didn't work out. After Ben Simmons got fined that $1 million, he said, oh, no, I got to go to work. So he definitely went to work, and I don't blame him because I would not lose out on that either. I've said on the show before, he was about to lose $25 million if he held out the entire season. Nobody's missing out on that much money. Joel Embiid has already came out and said, things won't be awkward. We are professionals. We want to win, and Ben Simmons gives us the best chance to win. So now that Ben Simmons is back in Philly, what are your expectations for Philly? And do you think there's going to be any weird dynamic in that locker room?
Well, of course, because I feel like
course it is.
when Ben denied them to come visit him, that kind of, put some separation. And then when Joel Embiid came out and talked about him, that put even more separation. But I think ultimately Ben showing up is going to change that narrative. They're going to be like, all right, he's ready to work, but now we know it's strictly business. So let's make this business. I think a report came out that Ben didn't like hanging out with the teammates after practice or after work. Like he kind of just did his own thing. Weird young man. But I think this is a perfect opportunity for Ben to change the narrative, build up that trade value, show people that you are a little bit different. This team now with Ben, I look at him differently. I think this is a top 4, top 5 team in the East with Ben Simmons, obviously.
Knicks, but yeah.
Obviously.
No, it's an 8
damn
seed
it.
though, right? 8 seed?
Huh?
Right?
8 seed without Ben. With Ben, top 5 team in the East. I believe it. I think now you bring in that playmaker. You bring in that guy who can defend at a high level. It's still going to be playoff time. It's still going to be shaky with that young man because he still can't score. But at the same time,
we know.
At the same time, you get a guy in the regular season who you know is going to give you 15, 8, and 8 in elite defense and versatile defense. So I think this is good for them. Come to work, straight business, all that extra stuff. He might be gone by the deadline. You never know if he puts up his value. We have to see how he plays first.
If you saw our basketball episode last podcast and you saw us speak about the Sixers, it's basically just going to be a reiteration of what I said. I said Ben Simmons would probably come back because he's not going to want to miss out on his bread. And two, his value for what he wanted or what the Sixers wanted to trade him for was just not anything that any other team would really want to take part in. He needed to come back on the floor. He needed to show his value of what the Sixers see him as and what he sees himself as. Their ceiling's got to be the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. We saw it last season. No one expected them to be the number 1 seed last year at all, especially with what was going on in Brooklyn. And Milwaukee, their consistency of what they had over the last couple of years. Then they obviously had the success they had their woes in the playoffs, lost to Atlanta, mostly in part to Ben's inconsistent play throughout the series. But now Ben's coming back with a chip on his shoulder. And it's more than possible that they finish as the number 1 seed again, just because people don't. When you know that you're a playoff team and you're an actual contender, you can cruise and still be a 2, 3, 4 seed and have success in the playoffs for sure. We saw Milwaukee do it last year. Brooklyn, obviously, same thing. Whoever won that series was probably going to the championship. But the Sixers, their ceiling, regular season, number 1 seed. When it comes to the grand scheme of things in the championship, I'm not sure. It comes down to if Ben's offensive game has improved. And obviously, none of us know that until we see it opening night. I think that given what you said and how the chemistry could be altered and how it's going to be a business-first type mentality, I think that could benefit them to a degree because they're not worried about catering to Ben's ego or catering to Ben's needs. It's strictly, all right, what's going to put us in the best situation to win basketball games? And this could benefit Philly, truthfully. So ceiling could be, it's definitely 1, but I don't see them finishing any lower than 4, truthfully.
For their ceiling, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they finish as like the 3rd seed. In my opinion, I don't think they're better than the Nets. I obviously don't think they're better than the Bucks either. But, I mean, Ben Simmons coming back, I mean, I feel like we're going to see what we saw last year. Just like Rivers said, a versatile defender, a guy who can distribute the basketball pretty well, rebound the ball very well. His scoring is he's a limited scorer. In a half-court set, I really feel like he's a limited player. But just in terms of him coming back, I mean, you're adding the second best player on the team, and you can't get much worse adding the second best player on your team. So, I don't know. Like, as far as like the locker room and everything involved, I don't really know how that's gonna rub off on his teammates. But in my opinion, I think this season coming up is really just a season for Ben Simmons to just get his trade value up there. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just don't think after everything that happened, that's transpired, I don't see why anybody in the Philly organization would want him back. I don't see why the fans want him back, and I don't see why he would want to be back. So I think this season more so is just going to be a season where Ben Simmons, he just elevates his trade value, his trade stock. I think by the trade deadline, he will be gone. And, like I said, if he plays really well, it could be a match for both. Ben Simmons could probably go to a solid team, and Philly could probably get one or two solid players in return for him. So I don't really see Philly as a contender this year, just because I don't think Ben Simmons is going to stick around for the long run with this team. He's solely in it for the money. Nobody wants to lose out on that much bread. He's a smart man. Kyrie should take notes. But just in terms of that, I mean, like their ceiling with him is a third seed. I think they're a second. I think their peak with this team is what we saw last year, a second round team. I don't think this team is good enough to win a championship. I think they should both move on.
This is best for both sides.
No doubt.
Because Ben Simmons doesn't lose out on his money, and now Philly can find the best trade for Ben.
Yeah.
And he can play up to his value. I seen somewhere in the comments when I posted a video on TikTok about Ben Simmons that Ben Simmons can make this situation ugly for Philly if he chooses to come back and he plays garbage.
Oh, my God.
If he does that, he could ruin his value so much that Philly doesn't get anything back from. But if Ben Simmons truly is a great player or has a great mentality, he won't do that to himself. He'll give all of his effort and try to actually be the best player he could be this season. And I think that's what Ben is going to do. This is ultimately the best for both sides. I'm glad Ben Simmons finally showed up, because even though it is more about the money, at least he showed up. Kyrie Irving, I think he's not only being a bad teammate, but he's being bad financially by not even showing up. But Kyrie Irving has 3 times more money than Ben Simmons at this point right now. So he probably doesn't even care. But I like crazy that Ben Simmons did show back up, and now Philly, obviously, because of that addition, they could be a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference, maybe top 6. But I still see the Nets being better. The Bucks.
That's their ceiling?
I said their ceiling was
top
third.
5 is their ceiling.
Their ceiling was third.
I mean, my standings are solidified. It's the Nets, the Bucks, the Knicks, the Heat.
The Knicks.
Now
third.
I have Philly at 5, and Atlanta will be 6, and we'll get that matchup back in the playoffs. The Knicks versus Atlanta, and we'll scrape.
If y'all lose again, it's very bad. No, I mean, but like realistically, let me just ask everybody this question.
I'm so mad.
Why?
Because what is wrong with you?
Just let it rock.
Bro, he's a Knicks fan. He loves his team. He loves his team.
Topic come into every single show.
But let me ask you guys like a serious question. If he plays well and Philly decides to keep him, I mean, do you guys really think that this is what?
He's played well in the regular season.
If he manages to bring,
last year
up to 20.
20, he's a different beast.
But that's what I'm saying. Let's say he brings
I'm
his
saying
points
well,
per
because I'm
game
not going
to
to put
20.
those type of expectations on him.
I
think he'll have
4 points.
a similar season last year. But I mean, let's just say he has a good season, like 15, 8-8, great defense, the usual with Ben Simmons. And Philly decides to keep him. Is this really a team that you can really sit here and say that it's a championship team that you can see winning a championship?
This team becomes
it's
a
not, bro. You have to get rid of this guy.
This team becomes a championship team if Ben Simmons develops a jump shot.
And do you believe that he's going to do that?
As of right now, no.
I don't
honestly,
either.
I don't
I'm just
even
going
know,
off what I've seen last year.
I don't even know if Philly is 5th for me.
Man.
Something in me is telling me Chicago's going to be a very good
First
team
of all,
in the
we're
regular
going to be
season.
better than y'all. So that's all. And then Atlanta's going to be better than y'all.
Honestly, just a
Not
disclaimer, I would love to see a Knicks and Chicago first round match.
That
would
oh
be
my goodness.
Fire.
We'll beat you like the Tom Melo hit that game winner.
Nah, for real though. I would not say a word.
We would
I would
cook
not
you.
say a word.
6 games.
Nah,
Bulls.
I'll be honest, Bulls.
That would
and
not
6.
beat us. RJ Barrett will lock up Levine, bro. He would lock
Don't
him
put
up.
that cone in front of him.
You think RJ Barrett's a cone?
Don't put in front of Zach. Don't
He's
put
improved.
that cone.
I mean, you're going off
off
that one preseason game, but he's definitely
RJ's a
improved.
lockdown
He-
defender.
he-
Don't put that cone in front of Zach.
No,
It's
BS.
Levine.
Strap is crazy, but he can definitely defend him pretty well, I think.
Word.
It's Levine.
I know.
I mean, who's a better scorer, Bradley Beal or Zach Levine?
Who's gonna guard Kemba? None of y'all.
I'd
That's a
probably
good
say
one. That's a
Beal.
good debate.
I'd probably
But
say
you're talking
Beal,
about a preseason game. That's what you're about to say.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like if he can, I mean,
Bro
if he
couldn't-
can lock up or not lock up, but if he can contain him, I don't think it's out of the realm that you. And the Knicks are a great defensive team overall, though. And they're getting Mitchell
Yeah,
Robinson. They
but
can have
Mitchell
rim
Robinson-
protection.
the Bulls scoring
Yo,
options are better
I'm
than
t-
the Knicks scoring
Mitchell
options.
Robinson.
No,
on
they definitely
Vucevic
are,
is
but the
over,
Bulls.
B.
I mean, the Knicks
Knicks
defense
defense
is
is like
OD.
that.
They're gonna get Mitchell Robinson back. They were already what was their defensive rank last year?
It was top.
All
top
that
team.
meant nothing when
I
they
think
played Atlanta. Like legit meant
But
nothing.
they have more players now. The
mean, it's
problem
your
with them,
fault
they didn't
for
have that.
falling
They
in
didn't
love
have
with
as many
Paul
scorers. I
But
mean, they got
but
Kemba
the
Walker, Evan
defense-
Fournier.
but
I mean,
none
they
of
got
those
some
are-
more
Yo, it's cool,
scores
it's cool, it's
though.
cool. Let him keep doubting, bro. Keep
None of those are
doubting.
additional
Keep
defense,
doubting,
But I think
bro.
I
I'll
think
be
you're kind of
honest.
going
Keep
crazy
doubting.
putting them
Don't even
third
say
though.
it.
You think they're gonna be
Keep
better than
doubting.
Miami?
Who?
The Knicks?
Regular season, yes.
Better than Miami?
Yes.
Bro,
I had
and better
Miami.
than the Hawks is crazy too.
No, it's not.
The Hawks, I mean, with their additions, I think I would still give the Hawks the slight edge, but you
The
can't sleep
Hawks-
on the Knicks.
The
though,
Hawks
bro.
surprised
I'm
everybody.
not sleeping, but I'm not worried about because our offense. We have so many playmakers and we have so
real.
many guys on offense.
yeah?
I'm not worried.
DeMar DeRozan's
who
a
cares?
dad nice playmaker
Yeah, like
too.
I'm not
And your
worried.
defensive personnel is not horrible either.
Gotta wait to see on now.
I don't know.
No, I think
David
the defense is
Paul,
okay.
Lamar,
But the same way that
Well,
same
back
way how
to
you
my
say
point.
RJ
though.
Barrett can lock up. The same
No,
way,
I'm not saying
no,
he can
I'm saying the same
lock
way
him
RJ
up. I
can
say
guard.
contain.
The same way RJ can guard. We can put Pat Williams on Julius Randle and be okay for 6 games, 5
so
games, 4
disrespectful.
games,
That's
7
Kawhi.
games. Yeah, we can be
That's the
okay
Yo, that's
the
the
whole
Paul.
time.
Yo, he's
That's the
talking
Paul.
about
Be
it.
quiet.
He's
That's
talking
the
about
Paul.
a player who just made third team All NBA
And then went to the playoffs and pooped it up. Like he
You are a
doo-dooed everywhere.
disgrace.
Like, he
You
was-
just said Patrick Williams is going to lock up an All NBA player.
Who locked
You
him
are
up
a
in
disgrace.
Atlanta? Who
I
locked
think
him
it,
up?
I was gonna say, come on.
It
John
wasn't.
Collins
I
and
don't.
Capella
I don't
did
think it
their
was.
thing.
I think it was a team effort to
I
lock
think
up
Julius
Julius
Randle is
Randle.
missing,
It
bro.
was a two-team. It was a two-player effort. It was John Collins, Clint Capella. They did their thing down low on him, and just like you mentioned, he just wasn't hitting.
That sucks.
At all. That's the worst time to not hit.
Yeah.
Of course, literally, you can't
All I'm
think
saying
of a
is,
worse
I
time.
was about to praise your Bulls, bro, but now
I know, you-
Forget
you
about
did
it.
that to
I
yourself,
don't even
bro.
want. I don't even want to talk about y'all. You gonna see.
I don't know, but like the Bulls and the Knicks, like who's gonna be better? I
I'll
mean,
be
they got
honest.
Vucevic, yo, they got DeMar, yo, they got a nice
Mitch will
team
lock
out there.
Lock Vucevic
Nah,
up,
I'm
bro.
taking the
Lock
Bulls,
up
bro.
Vucevic?
He
I'm
will
taking
lock
the
I don't know
Bulls.
if he'll lock up Vucevic.
You know we play early too, right? In the
that's
season?
cool.
We play in
We
November.
gonna-
I mean,
gonna see
yo,
very
I'm
early what's
gonna
gonna
use your
happen.
words. Regular season really don't matter, bro. We gotta see what happens when we get
For
to
new
playoffs.
teams like this, it matters.
Nah, the
Like,
Bulls
now it
regular
matters
season
for the
matters.
Bulls.
it matters. Like
It
So the
matters.
Knicks doesn't. We're a fairly new team. We got
But last
Kemba
year
and
you guys
Fournier.
finished-
Not new.
Those are good additions, bro.
It is
Kemba,
great. They're
the
great
Bulls,
additions.
yo,
The Bulls were nowhere near the playoffs. Knicks were the 4th seed. It's like we should expect the Knicks
Bro,
to make
nobody,
the playoffs.
nobody,
but you have to
nobody
last
thought the
year.
Knicks would make it,
But
bro.
we're not talking
I
about
definitely
last year.
didn't.
We're talking about this year.
if anything, I didn't think the Knicks would make the 4th seed. I thought it may be a
we
playing
were
team.
gonna. I thought we were gonna be in the running for Cade, bro.
King, I'm with
no,
you.
he did. He did.
I'm not talking about last
Cade is
year.
that
This
nice.
season, so you guys the
No, this-
expectation should be playoffs.
Oh, yeah,
for them.
playoffs, you have to make the
y'all,
playoffs.
you're a whole new team. How you guys
Yeah,
are going
I
to
get you.
mend together?
But
that
the
means-
the expectation for the Knicks right now on the outside, the public,
I'm with you.
everybody is saying, "Oh, 7th, 8th playing team.
I mean,
oh,
that's what I
they're not
said.
gonna be that good.
4th seed.
Y'all gonna see.
Yeah, you
we
think
gonna
so?
be
Or
better
5th.
than last year. We're gonna win 50 plus.
The East
games
got
this
better,
year.
so I don't know.
We're
A lot
gonna
of
win
healthy
50
teams coming
plus
back.
games,
East
bro.
is like that.
Huh?
East is like that.
I mean, but you have to look at their additions. I mean, Kemba Walker, for what it is, he's not terrible. Evan Fournier is all right. Then you got Mitchell Robinson, who was their center that they were missing all
I don't
year.
care about none
The
of
Bulls,
that.
How?
the Bulls,
those
as
are,
a-
no, but
and the Bulls-
those aren't good
Go ahead.
additions to a
No,
team that
they're
was the
good-
4th seed.
They're,
No,
they're
it's
good
it's
additions.
good additions,
They're good
bro.
additions, but we have
Better
better
than
additions.
Alfred Payton, and they still got they re-signed D
But you wanna know
Rose.
what's the
I'm
difference?
telling you,
Is it
bro.
on the same level as
Wait, hold
bringing
up.
in DeMar, as bringing in Lonzo?
You want to know what's the difference?
No way.
You want to know what's the
Getting
difference?
Mitchell back
What's
is
the
big.
difference?
The difference is that we made the
And they still got
playoffs.
D-Rose.
Y'all were ass, and y'all made those additions to get good. We were already good and made these additions to get great.
Without it, no,
That's
without
the
a doubt.
difference.
That's a fact.
But
We're
none of
great.
your
Y'all are
moves,
good.
none of your moves
Get outta here.
were
Great.
Wait.
Y'all are great. The Knicks are
Oh
great,
my
bro.
God.
Yes, we're
You're
great.
wild.
He's a Knicks fan. You gotta
We're
take it with a
great.
grain of salt, bro. I mean,
We're
yo,
great.
I mean, yo,
Keep sleeping on us.
I ain't gonna hold you. The
I'm
Bulls
telling you,
really
50
do got a
wins.
nice team though.
Nah, Bulls look nice.
Lonzo,
Our starting
Bean.
five doesn't match up with our starting five.
People.
And
Honestly,
your bench doesn't match up with our bench.
yo,
You're gonna play 7-8 guys in the playoffs. Who cares about that
I mean,
bench?
that's what a lot of people.
Yeah,
do,
you're
though.
Rose is
That's
6
exactly
guys better
what
than
he's-
anybody
that's
on
what
your
he's
bench.
saying.
bro.
Yeah.
No, agreed.
Oh,
Agreed.
yeah.
But you're gonna
Quickly
play
will
7-8
cook
guys.
Caruso, bro. Quickly will violate Caruso.
Excuse
Caruso's
me?
trapping that. Caruso's
Excuse
trapping
me?
that.
Violate that man.
Yo, you seen Caruso,
Stop.
bro? He
Violate,
looked died in
bro.
the preseason, bro. He hasn't
Yeah.
even been that bad.
All I'm gonna say, this is what I was gonna say. This was my final
Your teams
thought.
are similar.
Yeah,
The
as
reason
hell.
why I'm not high on Philly is because the Knicks will be better than Philly. And
They won't.
the Bulls will be the 5th or 6th seed. The Bulls will not be a playing team. They're going to be a good
course.
team.
Bulls
That's
are
why
nice.
I'm not high on Philly. Atlanta,
I'm dead
stop
going to a
praising
game.
these fools. They fooled you.
Stop it.
Atlanta is fool's gold, bro. They made this ECF run and y'all think so highly. They're fool's
dead going
gold.
to a Bulls
Don't
game.
buy it. Don't buy the Atlanta Hawks this season. Don't buy stock. They won't be higher than
So
the
first,
6th
so you
seed.
think first round exit?
Clip it.
Easily. I bet this man $200 their first round
I'm not
exit.
gonna hold you if they run into Milwaukee, Brooklyn, or Miami. They're getting bounced.
Yeah, but they're not going to be
And
in
the
that
Knicks,
position to
they're
play
getting
them.
bounced.
You know what
So,
I'm
so
saying?
what do you think that? What do you think that the
The
Hawks
Hawks
finish?
easily could finish from anywhere 3 to 6, minimum 6.
They could finish.
minimum,
Bro, Miami got better.
ridiculous.
I don't know.
No, I'm with you.
And Philly
Listen,
with
And
Ben
we sleeping
Simmons
on
coming back.
Boston.
I don't-
We
regular
sleeping on
season wise.
Boston.
I
Is
have-
Tatum not better than Trey?
Did Boston
As
not
a
make?
team
Wait,
as
wait,
a
wait.
Tatum was
whole,
dead
as
better
a
than
team
Trey.
as a whole, who's better, Atlanta or the
Bro,
or
Atlanta.
Boston,
Atlanta's got a
Boston's
better
2 is
team.
better than Atlanta's 2.
Boston was-
JT,
No,
they
dog,
better.
that's
Boston was a
JT 's
7th seed
different.
last year. Things
Bro,
happen.
if the Celtics healthy face
they
Atlanta
dealt
in
with
the
it.
playoffs,
But
That's
they
the
dealt
thing.
with a
That's
lot
why
of injuries
Atlanta's.
last
That's
year,
why
though.
Atlanta's so deep. They can miss an injury and still be up top.
Oh, the Knicks
Boston, if
can?
one guy goes
Knicks
down.
can?
No, I'm not talking about Boston.
Okay.
Boston, one guy goes down. If JB goes down or JT goes down, it's over.
It's done.
Well,
Like they're
I
I feel
dropping
like,
to the
but,
play-in.
but I feel like
We
it-
saw
I feel like
DeAndre-
if, I feel like if Trey Young goes down, it's over
can
for
say
the
that,
Hawks.
but
too,
Debatable.
though.
No,
They
they're
won a
done.
game.
They're done.
That's
They're
wrong.
done, bro.
They
That's
won
their
a
best
game in the
player.
ECF. They won a game in the ECF
Talking about the
without
regular
him.
season.
but
Talking about the regular
that's
season.
But I'm
one
saying
game, though.
No, but I'm
Giannis
saying
went
that's
down
one
in the
game.
second half. He was done. He didn't
He
play the second
definitely
half.
did, yeah.
No, I just gotta. Yo,
They're
everyone
done
ask you
without
this.
it. Trey does everything for that
Yo, hold
team.
on, hold on. Let me ask y'all this real question. Atlanta Hawks made the playoffs last year, right? Let's just say hypothetically, in the first round, they faced Boston, but Boston was healthy with JB and JT. Do you have the Celtics beating Atlanta?
Yes,
Okay.
Me too.
So let's stop sleeping on Boston.
but we also have the
Let's stop
Celtics whipping
sleeping
your
on-
ass.
They not whooping. Hell no, bro. You,
Nah,
With,
come on,
JT
stop
and
it.
JB, I don't know,
Nah, I'm
man.
taking the Celtics easy.
Crazy.
Y'all looked bad against Atlanta. How
okay,
can-
we're
it's
just
a-
gonna
they
see
couldn't
how
score.
the East plays out. I already
Fair,
said
fair.
on camera, don't buy the Atlanta Hawks. They're fool's gold. Don't buy them. You heard it
But
here
you have them
first.
making the playoffs, though.
Yeah, not like a top 5 seed though. Not,
You say
definitely
6,
not.
right?
6,
Nah, he
I
had
think
them
at
7.
best.
He had them 7.
7?
Nah, cause man, Chicago's better than Atlanta, bro. I'm trying to
So what's
tell
the
y'all.
ceiling? What's the
Chicago's
ceiling for
nice.
Atlanta for you?
Look, like I said before on the Eastern Conference
He
predictions.
did not
This
answer the
guy,
question.
Yeah, no, because he knows.
This is my
guy,
answer.
yo.
This
Okay.
is, let
He's
me
gonna
answer.
look
It's not,
back.
it's not a one-word answer, bro. What's gonna separate the 3rd and 7th seed in the Eastern Conference is about 5 wins. That's what's gonna separate them. So the Hawks' ceiling is definitely the 3rd seed. Their
Okay.
ceiling, but I don't think they'll be there because I think the Knicks will be better. The Heat, the Bulls. And I can't sleep on Boston or Philly. Like I'm
Yep.
saying, Boston, Philly,
East is
Atlanta,
tough, yo.
it's a toss-up. I can't.
East got really tough.
I'm hype about it. Finally,
If I wasn't a Knicks fan, I would definitely say the Heat are a lot to be the 3rd seed, and 4 to 8 is gonna be a toss-up. But I believe in my squad, and we gonna
Heat
do
are
it.
going to be...
We gonna
they're
do
gonna be
it.
dirty.
But like I said, don't believe in the Atlanta Hawks, but buy Knicks stock. Buy Knicks stock.